he was something else. And we lost him about 6 years ago. And if you lost a parent or anybody close to you, I don't have to explain that to you, what that's like. I lost both my parents within a very short time period. That was a hard, dark night. But and it's my firm conviction that the world is a lot less funny without Daddy. You can still see him. He's got a comedy record on, I think it's on all the streaming things. He had a comedy record. I just dare you to go get it. You got to hear it. It's hilarious. I heard those stories so many times and they still would make me laugh. It's called You Ain't Gonna Believe This. And I highly recommend it. It might be a great stocking stuffer or just something to play if your relatives are driving you crazy over the holidays. It's a good tension buster. I'll tell you a little story. I was out on the road with him one time, and funny things happened. We were up in a casino up in the Northeast, up in Minnesota, and this lady came up to me in the autograph line back when we could sign autographs and didn't worry about catching anything. Anyway, she came up to me. She had this package with her box, and it had serial numbers, and she was carrying it very carefully like it was something really important. And she asked me if I'd sign it, and I said, oh sure, I'll sign it, no problem. And I'm signing it, all of a sudden my curiosity got the better of me. I said, by the way, I said, what's in here? She said, it's Dad. You can't make that stuff up. You really can't. That happened. Later on that night, I got on the bus and I fell, I went to sleep, and I must have been having some kind of crazy dream, imagine that. And I woke up and with a start, and I bumped my head on the top of the bunk. We kind of been doing that a lot lately. I don't know why. But anyway, that particular night I did that. I bumped my head, and I just lay there, and all of a sudden I thought, what a way to get out of buying a ticket. That was what came into my mind. Anyway, she looked over at Daddy, and she said, will he sign it? And I said, oh yeah. And she walked over, she said, Mr. Tillis, so cool to meet you. And she said, I'd be honored if you'd sign this. And this is the part of the story I'm not proud of. She said, ask her, what's in it, Daddy? I think the spirit of a really bad 10-year-old girl came up over me. Anyway, he said, what's in it? And she said, it's Dad. He couldn't talk the rest of the night. He had trouble with that. And he had a lot of trouble with that talking stuff in the early days of his career. And back to my original story, a lady that gave him one of his first breaks in Nashville was we called her Mrs. Cannon. It was Sarah Ophelia Cannon, but the world knew her as Minnie Pearl. Yeah, and she took Daddy out on the road to make a little extra milk money, and she featured him in a number because she loved his singing. But she caught on to the fact that he wasn't talking before the song and he wasn't talking after it. He was letting another young man who was in the band at that time, you're not going to believe this, Roger Miller, played fiddle. And a lot of people don't know that chapter. But Daddy was so bashful about his speech impediment that he was, when he finished his song, Roger would step back up to the mic and say, Mel Tillis says, thank you. And it's really something. She came, Miss Minnie, the way, and I was a baby, but this is the way it was told to me. She pulled him aside one night after a show, and she said, Melvin, what is this about? She said, if you're going to learn to be an entertainer, you're going to have to learn to talk to the people. And she said, don't worry about it. They'll always laugh with you. They won't laugh at you. She said, the world loves somebody who knows how to laugh at themselves. And it turned out to be a game changer. He took it to heart, and the light came on, all those things. And I will tell you, this is something I'm so proud of, other than the legacy of his wonderful humor and music. He went on to become the spokesperson for the Stuttering Foundation. And I've had so many people come up to me that had a stuttering impediment, speech impediment, and they've told me how much his example meant to them. So I'm real proud of that. But I'm going to do a song, first of all, in honor of Miss Minnie, because if it hadn't been for her, the Mel Tillis story and Pam Tillis story would have turned out a whole lot differently. You got it, sweetheart. Mama said, oh, Ophelia, are you dreaming tonight of a faraway stage with your name up in lights? She said, oh yes, Mama, something's calling me, but it's not a dream, it's my destiny. She said, I got a beautiful train, could you love me? Rope me along, but that ain't gonna stop me. She didn't know it would lead to the heartbreak, making people laugh. Oh, year after year, every week at the rhyme, she had laughed until she had cried. They had a star in the world and a diamond in a $2 hand. Now everybody knows Ophelia, you had paid your dues on 10,000 stages and one pair of shoes. We had come to love you by a different name. The one was hanging in the Hall of Fame. She said, I run a mule and train, don't you love me? Rope me long, but it ain't gonna stop me. She didn't know it would lead to the heartbreak, making people laugh. Oh, year after year, every week at the rhyme, she had a laugh until she had a crying. They had a star in the world and a diamond in a $2 hand. Y'all put your hands together like that. Come on. She said, I knew the train is a lobby, rolling along, but it ain't gonna stop me. She didn't know it would lead to the heartbreak, making people laugh. Another year after year, every week at the rhyme, she had laughed until she had a cry. They had a star in the world and a diamond in a $2